Hey everybody, in this video I want to talk about edit history and why that's a helpful feature. I use this feature pretty often in docs especially, also in slides and sheets, any of those collaborative Google platforms where, especially where multiple people might be making edits or edits are made over a long period of time. So here we are in a doc, and the way that this appears changes depending on how the document's used and how recently it's been changed and stuff. So right here we see this button here that says see new changes. So I'm going to click on that and it will open up my edit history here. You can see there are two people who've made changes here since the last time that I've been in the document or whatever, and there are there's like a color key, so we can see that I must have been using a different account. I did this part, so it's highlighted in purple, and you can hover over it if you're not sure, if you don't notice the key or whatever. And Arno added this part. I also took out this part, so that's what the strike through means. So you can see that, and then you can also go into see full history, which can be helpful, especially if you're trying to go earlier than the last time that I viewed this document with this account. So then we have all of these, like the different dates and times. Here's when the document was created. I can expand these and see detailed edits like by the minute, and I can go to a specific spot and I can click more actions here, and then I can make a copy, I can name this version, and I can restore this version of the document. Like if we totally screwed up and lost something important, I would recommend making a copy so that I don't lose everything that I have on this current document. Then I can just copy that portion in my copied document and paste it in the current version. But sometimes you're like, oh, we totally went the wrong direction. We just want to scrap everything we did after August 13th at 10:15 a.m. So then you could restore that version. And again, that button is just up here at the top. You just click restore this version, and then it goes back to exactly how the document was at this time. So this is also a really helpful feature when you're looking at plagiarism or group work, when you have groups of students. And I'm always concerned, because I was this kid, I'm always concerned when I'm in a group that I'm going to do all the work, right? And we know those students who are just afraid, like they're just going to get saddled with all of the work and then everybody's just going to share credit. But this is a great option to kind of mitigate that. We can go in and see who's doing all the work, and sometimes just because that person's being a scribe, like in the case of this, we were doing a Google Meet and I was kind of scribing while we were talking. But sometimes truly one person is doing all the work, or two people, or maybe everyone except one student, and you can see all of that in the edit history. So super helpful to be able to give credit to groups, or to be able to talk to overachievers or people who are kind of dominating a space that's supposed to be collaborative, but they're just kind of taking over. So great information to be able to help those conversations as we kind of coach students. So that's in Google Docs, and we can just go back to get to the actual document. I also want to show you what this looks like on Google Sheets. So this is a survey that I did and that we sent out, and then you'll see up here open version history. Last time it was yesterday. So again, it looks a little bit different than the other document, but that information is still up here in this link. So we can click on that, and it shows these versions, same kind of thing as last one. There's another thing I want to show you about Google Sheets, because they just added a brand new feature. So when you right click in a cell, you can now see the edit history of that specific cell, which is pretty helpful. I've needed this feature before when I was I was working on a volunteer sign up list, and we were using Google Sheets, and there were several people gathering volunteers and adding people to this list. And sometimes we would need to move someone from one slot to another or whatever, but sometimes we also needed to communicate about those moves. So it would be nice to be able to go in and say, oh, Jen changed this name here but I should talk to her about this because I actually had that person there for a reason, and maybe we can find a different move that would make more sense. So it'll show me who changed that and when, and then we can have a conversation about it if we need to. So another great, super helpful feature, and Google just keeps rolling out those updates. So, all right, that's it for today. Use that edit history, super helpful for a lot of reasons, and also for when kids feel like, oh no, I lost everything, or I was further along than this. It doesn't always fix those issues, because if they're working offline and then they don't sync it again, which I'll do a video about that later, or if the connection was down and they thought they were working but it never got auto-saved, there are ways that they can lose that information. But sometimes, especially if they're working in a group project and there are a few of them in the document, somebody accidentally deletes more than they mean to, kids can freak out like, oh no, we just lost all our work or whatever. That's a great time to go back into that edit history and restore the work that was lost. So lots of great reasons to use that. That's it for today. Have a good one.